Today we're going to be talking about Mailchimp. Today's webinar content, we're going to talk about email, HTML email, bulk email, email newsletter service, and Mailchimp in particular. A regular email looks like that. It's just basically rich text. You can do a little bit of formatting like bold, italics, that kind of thing, underline, and you can attach photos to your emails, but you can't really like design a pretty email. And for that, we have to use HTML email. If you remember back when we talked about rich text, if you attended that webinar, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, HTML, and I showed you that, not that you have to know anything about the markup language or anything, just to be aware of it. But that, of course, is the way that web pages are and email templates are coded, so that the text is formatted and images are added. And so basically you can send an email that looks like this example here, which is from the Master Gardeners, and it basically looks like a web page right in your email client. Now, bulk email is the practice of sending out electronic mails or emails to large groups of recipients at once. Now, I know you've all heard the word spam. Bulk emails in and of themselves are not bad, but if you send out bulk emails that are unsolicited, then it becomes spam. Unsolicited means that the recipient has not granted verifiable permission for the message to be sent. So basically, if you just have a spreadsheet of email addresses, or if you buy a list of email addresses and start sending bulk emails, you will get flagged for spam. They can block your email accounts and other things. And so in order to alleviate that, or to regulate that, we have email newsletter services. Now, in general, an email newsletter service helps you manage your subscription lists, create campaigns, schedule deliveries of your emails, monitor problems like people who think your email is spam, that kind of thing, and track successes. They have reports that tell you who's opened your email and what they've clicked on and what they've seen. And it gives you the tools to help you create those pretty HTML emails. And those are compatible with different email clients, formats, and devices. Does anyone know what an email client is? Not you, Robbie. I know you know. So an email client is the software that you use to read and send your emails. There are web-based email clients, and that would be your Gmail or your Yahoo Mail, or if you still have, and I do, a Hotmail account. And all of those are accessible within a browser and online. And then there are desktop and mobile email clients, which are actual applications or programs that you download to your device or your desktop. And the most common and I'm pretty sure we all use Outlook. And that was very brief description of some of the definitions and things having to do with sending out bulk emails. That slide there has the link to our email newsletters DIY guide, and this goes into much more detail not just about the basics, the basic definitions and stuff, but it goes into specific Mailchimp things. And of course, if there are many different email newsletter services, and if you use a different service, and I can't think of any off the top of my head because I've always used Mailchimp, but this guide, as far as general information goes, will serve you well. You can learn a lot from this. Now, we recommend using Mailchimp as an email service provider to manage and produce and send email newsletters. And again, if you use a different service, general information on our DIY guide will help you and be relevant to what you're doing. OIT uses and can provide moderate guidance on using Mailchimp. I have a lot of experience with Mailchimp, so if you need help setting up, or if you need help actually building campaigns or anything, you can email me and I can help you out some. We do have an extension branded template that you can use, so those are already set up. You don't have to worry about doing all of the design. You can just email Mikey, and I neglected to put his email address on here, but I will put it in the PowerPoint before I send it out to everyone tonight. But Mikey is our Mailchimp guru. He helps set the accounts up, and has he's the one who designed the template, and will be able to give you access to all that. And if you do use a different service besides Mailchimp, our templates only work in Mailchimp, so we wouldn't be able to help you with that. And here is a link to Mailchimp, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So basically, Mailchimp is free. It looks like I'm already logged in, but I'm going to log out here before we get to. So Mailchimp.com. Basically, you can, and it still has me logged in. Basically, you sign up for free. You click on the sign up button, and basically you come up with a username and provide your email. I'm not going to be able to show you that because apparently it won't let me log out. According to Mailchimp, what you can do is create unique campaigns, which is what we were talking about, HTML emails that look very pretty, look like a web page. Connecting your favorite tools. There aren't a lot of tools here that we necessarily use. This is mainly for like marketing and selling things like, Shopify and WooCommerce. So that wouldn't really be anything that we would use, but you can automate. So you can set up campaigns and have certain emails go out at certain times. You can also, if you have a blog with us, you can set what's called RSS to email, and basically it will send out a newsletter email every time you make a post on your WordPress blog site. And that's pretty handy. And the Master Gardener screenshot that I had earlier is one of those that is set to come out every time they create a post. Let's see, Catoosa County, there's one template, but you can customize. So let me go back to this slide over here. This banner at the top is customizable. So if you want to create different and specific programs, specific banners on top or headers on the top, you can. And that's something that either Mikey or I can help you with. And then basically the template is that we've got the Georgia red line here with the date, and then on the side we have a sidebar where you can do things like put quick links, you can put logos, and then you can have these buttons to share on social media, or forward the email to someone else. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go here to the dashboard. Once you set up your account, actually on the resource webpage, what we have here is an email newsletter checklist, and I will go ahead and attach that with the PowerPoint tonight. So the first thing, of course, is to sign up for a free Mailchimp account. Read the terms and conditions, acceptable use policy, privacy policy, all of that, and set up your initial account information. The acceptable use policy is really important because that is where they tell you what they expect in terms of using bulk email responsibly, and how to avoid being spammed. I mean, not being spammed, but being marked as spam. And so that's important. And just going over here real quick, getting started, you'll create a marketing plan. So basically you're going to figure out who you're sending to, determine what your content is going to be, how often you want to send those emails, and then make a schedule. The subscription list, this is where you are going to, if you've got people that you already send emails to, you can import that list, but you got to be sure to let them know that you are going to be sending them email newsletters. And then also, as you know, you may or may not know, we do have a Mailchimp sign up form in AEM that you can put on your site, and then just have people sign up for that newsletter. And then you can also just tell your friends. As a matter of fact, if you set one up, email me at caesweb@uga.edu, and I will sign up for the list. I've signed up for several just as a test, and to have someone on the list. To begin with, you've got to have a couple people in your subscription list. So even if it's just, you know, you at the office and me, that's a good start. And then you can design your template, which basically means import the extension template, and then here, you know, you can customize the colors and fonts, and then include content that's reused. I'll show you that. And then finalize the design in the campaign editor, and I'll show you that too within Mailchimp. And then actually doing it, you create your first campaign, and then you evaluate it. They have tools that you can share with people, so you can collaborate. And if you need to have someone, you know, give a final okay before it's sent out, then you can do that. And then you can also create campaigns in a series, so that if you can make copies of that campaign. You can make like Twitter, not Twitter. I just read the word Twitter. You can make templates and use those every time you send out a newsletter. We have a question about, can you have more than one subscription list? Yes, you can, and that's part of this segmenting. Establish segments as needed, so you can have as many mail lists as you want. You can even create subsets within lists and define those. And if I go here to, now I'm going to go to the dashboard. And you can see there are a few that we are already helping with. We don't do any, well, the reason that they are here is because if there is some troubleshooting that needs to happen, but basically the mail list and the campaigns are yours. But so these are the people that we help out and that have set up extension and CAES Mailchimp accounts. And so I'm just going to pick ours because we have some test things. And so when you go to your Mailchimp and you log into your Mailchimp account, you're going to see basically an overview of reports. We haven't sent out a lot of emails, but if you did, you would see how many people have subscribed. So if you got more people, it'll tell you. It'll tell you how many people you have subscribed, and then unsubscribed. So if you have people who unsubscribe, it'll let you know that. And then campaign engagement. So this is for specific email campaigns that you've sent out. And so here it'll tell you how many emails for that particular campaign actually were opened by the people who have subscribed to your newsletter. And then if they opened it, if they clicked on anything inside, it will also tell you that there. And then there is the little little graph there, but of course we haven't had anything opened or clicked recently. Let me see if we, let's see, past 30 days. Nope. Past year. There we go. So that's what it would look like. So 562 emails delivered, 165%, I mean 165 were open, so that's 29.36 delivered, and then 47 actually clicked on something within that newsletter. So that gives you an idea. It gives you an idea of like what content your subscribers are most interested in. And so if there's a particular theme or whatever, then you can see that here and maybe tailor your your messages more to what they're interested in. Also, you can go right here and create a campaign, but we're assuming that you are just starting. So where we suggest is starting with your lists. And so here is where we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5 different lists. To start with, if you have 0, you're just going to create a list. And you can learn more about tags if you like. And those are just like keywords and things that help you categorize the list a little bit better. But we're just going to start with a simple list. And so if you click on Create List, you're going to give it a list name. And then, so this default from email address, this is what is going to show up in the email client in your Gmail or Outlook that says this email is from UGExxx.uga.edu, and then the default name, Jarrett County Extension or Jarrett County Cooperative Extension, or whatever you want that from name to be. This will generate randomly, so you don't have to worry about the campaign URL settings. And then you can also remind people how they signed up to your list. You don't, if you've got one set up for another list, you can choose it here and use the same one. But here you can, you're receiving this email because you opted in on our website, or we send special offers. So basically, I think that you would use that you are receiving this email because you opted in at our website, and then extension.uga.edu/Jarrett. And that is sort of covering you for, you know, being blocked for spam, because if they've signed up, that is the verifiable, when we talked about the definition of spam. Verifiable permission is what that is a reminder of, that they gave you permission to send them emails. And then you need to fill out your contact information, and that does show up on the email itself, and that is necessary because it's an anti-spam requirement. And so you have to have that to show that you're a legitimate non-spam sending out, you know, that you're not someone who is sending malicious emails or whatever. So form settings, enable double opt-in. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's necessary. And notifications. This is where you can get a summary. You can get a summary every day of your subscribe or unsubscribe activity, or you can do one by one, either if you want to know when people unsubscribe, or if you want to know if they subscribe, and you can check as many of those as you want. And I'm not actually going to create that list, but then it would look like this. And here you're going to click on the list itself and manage contacts. And here you can add contacts by adding a subscriber by hand, And this is where you can put this permission. You've got to check that. Or you can, if they're already on the mail list and you're just updating their information, you can click that and then just click subscribe, and I will be added to that list. So if we go back to manage contacts, view contacts, and there we go, there I am. You can also import contacts like I was saying, but you have to be sure that those people know that they are going to be on this mail list, and also let them know that they are welcome to unsubscribe. There are at least 2 links on those emails that allow people to unsubscribe if they don't want to receive those anymore. But basically this is, you can import a CSV or text files, or here you go, you can copy and paste from an Excel spreadsheet. If you probably won't have Google Contacts that you can use in this subscription list, but if you did, you could import those contacts from using the integrated service. So basically copy and paste and go next. And you're just going to do exactly that. Just open up your Excel spreadsheet, select everything, and then paste it here. And you should have the columns. So if you look here first, you should make sure that your columns line up. So you're going to have the email, their physical address, oh no, I'm sorry, email address, first name, last name, and then their physical address and phone number. You don't have to have all of those. This email address, first name, and last name are the most important. And then you have to check that, but if we go here, I forgot to mention that it's free. And they've also, like most other things online, they have pay plans where you can pay a certain amount a month and get extra things. So with the basic, you can have up to 2,000 subscribers, and you can send 12,000 emails a month. But I really hope nobody does that, because that's a good way to get marked as spam. You can have multi-user accounts, which is how we have the OITCAES set up, and so that's why in that list you saw all of those names, and that's why we can add you so that we can help you with that. Guides and tutorials on here, they have a lot of really good resources for learning, and learning how to use Mailchimp and how to just everything. If you want email and chat support from them, you've got it for free for the first 30 days. Email campaigns, you can make email campaigns, landing pages, pop-up forms, postcards, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all of those things. Time optimization, delivery zone, predicted demographics. These things are like timed optimization. It takes a look at when your report about when people, so not only how many people got your email, how many people clicked on them, but how many people opened your email at what time. so that you could send it at a better time. That is not part of the free or even the Grow. You have to pay for the Pro for that. Comparative reports, multivariate testing, and if that's something that you need, then you know, at least $10 a month, and then you can send unlimited subscribers and unlimited emails. And then $199 a month and up will get you pretty much everything. But we have used, and lots of people use the free version. That's what we use, and it's been quite successful. So after you've got your lists, the next thing you probably want to do is get the word out. When you set up your list, I'm sure you may have you know, one person from your office and then probably me. You're going to want to put it on your website, on your county site. And so basically what you're going to do is put the component on your page and click edit. And then here, here are the step-by-step instructions. So you're going to log into Mailchimp, select the list that you want to create the sign up form, select sign up forms, embed forms option, select the desired options and formatting, copy and paste the code here. So what that looks like is we're going to do the test list, and right here on top is the sign up forms, and you're going to click on embedded forms there. And that's what the basic, just default list looks like. You can turn things off. So that little red, blue is that little red, blue, green checkbox thing. You can create interest group fields so that people can sign up for specific newsletters. But if you don't need that, you can just turn that off. Required field indicators. So if that's required, that's just that little asterisk. And the email address is a required field because they are supposed to be subscribing to an email newsletter. So, and then show format options, and we're going to leave that selected also. The other thing is you could include an archive link. Let me do that, and this will point your users to a page that lists your recent campaigns. So if they want to get a look at what your newsletters look like before they sign up, then you could do that. And I'm going to go ahead and check that so we can see what that looks like. And so that's what you're going to copy and paste into that, into the little box there. And we're just going to paste and then say okay.
You may need to refresh, Melissa.
Yeah. So here we go. We're going to reload so that it causes that component to reload. I am going to turn off this include archive link since we may not actually have an archive for that particular list. And I'll copy and paste again. What's funny is this worked like at 12 o'clock. Is AEM slow again?
It's not slow for me.
Well, yeah, take a look. So we got that component, and nothing here. I can't, and don't have the bottom of the page. I mean, don't have the, oh, huh.
I wonder, yeah.
Let's try it again without the extra stuff and see. I have no idea why that is doing that and why that's up there. But you can see that that's what your
Yeah. It looks like there's a div that you might not have copied the whole code or something, and it's throwing it off. Do a Control A. Yeah.
all right, there we go. Then of course you can also it's not going to let me drag it up there, is it? You can make it smaller if you want and put it in a column control. Sometimes people like to have it sort of on the side, sort of on the sidebar. Of course, you would want it to be ideally up here, higher up on the page so everyone can see it. And then after you've done that, this is where you're going to bring your templates in. You're going to click on this little template up here. And Mikey, again, I will put his email in the PowerPoint. You would email him and he would be the one to put the template in here, the CAES newsletter template. And then when you actually have your first newsletter, you're going to go to campaign. And these are all of the different campaigns that we have. You can create folders to organize them. Then basically you're just going to click on the create campaign button. And then you say what you want it to be. You can do postcards that look kind of cool in email, but generally you're just going to use the email. A regular, you can use triggered. Basically what that means is if you've got a, let's say an event, just for an example, if you've got an event that someone signs up for, you can have a triggered email that after they sign up, a pretty email that says, thank you for signing up, you know, here's more information or whatever. The plain text is just text. It's not no HTML at all, no images, nothing, just text. And then A/B test, we won't use that. So it's either 99.9% of the time, it's just going to be a regular email. And give it a name for the entire campaign. And here you're going to do the to, the from, what the subject is, and then the campaign. So here's where you would choose what list or lists you want to send to. Here's where you can segment or tag. So if you want all subscribers on the list, that's the default. But if you want only the newest subscribers from that list, you can choose those. And then you can personalize the to field by pulling, remember, the columns in the list. So you can do first name. So the to field would be to Melissa. And then you can also customize and put if you wanted to, but you got to do the brackets and do the right format for that. And then here we go, first name and last name is also one that's choosable from the list. So if you want to say, this is to Melissa Gay, and then save. And then the subject, the from, you can edit to say whatever you want it to, put whatever email address you want it to. Subject, and this is the subject for the campaign, for this particular campaign. Which can be the same name as the campaign. If you want preview text, you can have it. Again, more of their support. All of these things have a little emoji support. So I don't, have you gotten the gotten emails that have the emojis in the subject line? Well, they tell you how to do that. So they've got a lot of help along the way to help you do better campaigns and you know, do better marketing and stuff. So I'm going to save. And then the content, this is where you actually design the email itself. And you click on design. You select a template, and let's see, is it under themes, save templates? Okay, it's under saved templates, and here is where whatever Mikey helps you set up. These RSS feed ones are the ones that are connected to the blogs, and so you want to use one of those. If you're just using a plain newsletter, you'll click on it, and then it'll open up where you actually begin your design. And so here's where you add your own image. So you can create separate, this is back to the question that we had before about different templates. So starting with the basic template, here is where you can customize and make, you know, put the 4-H logo in here with you know, a different photo for each program area, and then save those. And you can save those as, so once you get it designed here and put, you know, put in the way you want with your header image and everything, you can save as template and give it a new name. And then what I was telling you about before, you can preview and test. And so you can send a test email. And then you can tell here you put the email addresses that you want to send them to, and they need to be separated by commas. And then you can include a personal message here like, hey, check this out. Do I have any typos? And then send a test. And then here under comments, this is where you can get comments from the people that you sent the email to, the test email. And then when you're done, save and close. And so on your campaign page, let's go back here to campaigns, webinar test. You can see that it's still a draft. That's sending because it's an RSS feed, so it's constantly looking for blog posts to send out. And then if they have already been sent, they will say sent, of course. And then you find in the list the one you want to send out. And here you can finish later, which will take you back to the home page, or you can schedule. And here you can set up the schedule and it'll automatically send. Or you can click send and it'll send it automatically to and immediately to the people on your list after you've got it set up. Are there any questions? Kind of went fast and there is a lot of information here. You can also connect your Facebook account or Twitter, and then you can share the share your campaign on or your newsletter on your social media, Facebook or Twitter. And lastly, up here, since there are no questions so far, the reports. This is kind of an overview of all campaigns, just in general. But if you want to see a specific one, you've got the numbers here. And if you click on it, here's a more detailed report. And here it tells you which or the top links clicked, so you know exactly what people are reading. Subscribers with the most opens, so you'll know who exactly is actually reading your emails. And then top locations opened, of course it's just by the country, so that should, I mean, unless you know people out of the country who would be looking at your newsletter, and of course that then they would show up here. And here you can do specific, you can see who didn't open. And there's a list of everybody that didn't open that. And then you can export that as a CSV. People who clicked. And also bounced. Soft bounces, hard bounces. When an email is rejected by a subscriber's email service, it's called a bounce. So the hard bounces are when the email address doesn't exist. So you would have to go back to your list and check that you've got the email address correct. And then soft bounces, like if their mailbox is full or if the email server's down and if the email message is too large. Generally, I don't think that's a problem. So we've got 4 hard bounces, which means that we've got probably a typo somewhere in the address there. Here's a list of the links that were clicked within that particular newsletter. And then Analytics 360. Was not enabled. And that actually, that may be something that is a pay service. But that does more analytics. Go back to links. You can have a heat map, click map. And so it shows you of the links on your newsletter, which was clicked the most. So this embedding maps, forms, and calendars in WordPress was clicked 42.9% of the clicks, total clicks. Anyway, this went longer than I thought it would, which usually happens. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to hang out for a little while. So if you want to have a discussion with me privately, or have specific questions, I will be here for, I'll say, another 10 minutes. And otherwise, you're free to go. You are dismissed. And we'll see you next month, hopefully. We're going to be talking about WordPress more, and about whether blogging is for you or not. And so we'll have an overview of WordPress and how to get that set up. All right, so I'm going to stick around for any questions. And yes, I see your question, Mary Beth, so I'll be here. Thank you, everyone. You're dismissed.